Welcome back to East Coast DNA. I'm your host, Darcy Walsh, and we have a returning guest, Hunter Bushell. Welcome, Hunter.
Good morning, everybody.
So, Hunter, you're our returning guest, which we do frequently have returning guests, but you were just on not too long ago. So, I don't have as much to talk to you about as your history because I'd recommend people go back and listen to the episode where you actually sat just over to my right here and you did a performance for us too. So definitely an episode worth watching, and it's recent history, so it's all very, very up to date information too. But wanted to have you back on here because you have exciting news. You have your new album coming out. It's not your debut because you already have material out there, which
Yeah,
is super impressive for someone of your age. But aside from that, I want to hear about the new album myself. So let's get into it. I want to talk about the album artwork, which I've seen already. I know that you had somebody do that up for you, and then
sure thing.
maybe
Yeah.
we can get into the recording process a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, so the artwork, I was at the Stanfield's Music Festival, the Blacktop Ball, I think it was last summer about this time. And I was hanging out before the show, watching sound check or whatever, and I met this guy that was doing the same. And we just got talking about music and whatever, and he mentioned that he was a digital artist. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then he just showed me some of his pictures. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm kind of looking for a guy because I've had the concept for the record for a long time, and I knew what I wanted kind of visually. So I showed him like a rough sketch of what I was thinking. He's like, oh, absolutely, yeah. So his name's Rob Hyde, and he's a really good guy. I don't know him too well. That was kind of our only interaction, but I mean, we've talked a few times on Instagram and stuff, and he's really easy to deal with. So yeah, he delivered exactly what I wanted.
Amazing, and I saw it myself. It's impressive work. So
Yeah.
big shout out to him. But now, at the time that you had that conversation, like you said, that was about almost a year ago exactly. Did you already have, like, I know you have a whole repertoire of songs. I've seen you perform quite a few times already. So, did that period of time, did you have the album in your mind? Did you have songs recorded already? Like, how far along in the process were you?
I had when I wrote the song "The Raven or The Roadkill," I knew that that was going to be the title track, and I knew what I wanted visually. It was kind of one of those things where as soon as I had that phrase, I don't know exactly how I come up with it, but once I had that, I knew everything I wanted to do. So I had the title track written, and I had the artwork. Like I knew what I wanted, but that was really all I had. I think I had that, and I had maybe like a quarter of one of the other songs written. I was like, well, I know this is what I'm going to do, so I might as well get that out of the way, and then maybe that'll kind of kick me in gear to write the rest of the music.
Well, it sounds like the approach worked because you
Yeah,
have the album coming out as of the time that people are watching this. If you're watching on the day of release, the album's out tomorrow. And otherwise, it's already out. So you can go out there and stream it now on all streaming platforms. You also have a release show. So for people that are watching this early on, I want to make sure that anybody that's listening to it like the day of or a couple days afterwards has the opportunity to catch the release show. So what can you tell us about that?
yeah. So the release show is going to be August 22nd. It's a Friday night. It's in Truro at the Commune. Really good venue. I've played there quite a few times, and I know the staff there, and Megan's helped me out with it too. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be pretty relaxed. Like I'll play through the songs on the album, and then I'll play some other stuff, and I don't know, requests and stuff out of my normal set list, and just kind of hang out. And I think it's gonna be a lot of friends there and a lot of good musicians, and it'll be a cool vibe, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself what I have going on that night because I've been busy enough this summer, as you know, because I've run into you quite a few times. You've
Yeah,
been busy yourself. I just didn't have my calendar up to date. I got to the point where there was so much that I wasn't updating my calendar, and then I got up to that point where it just there's nothing specifically planned.
yeah.
But
You
as
got
you
to put
know,
a
there's
spot in your calendar of designated time to set up your calendar.
yes, exactly. I'll have to
Yeah.
do that. Maybe what I should do is after this call is just write down that I'm going to see the Hunter Bushell EP release on the 22nd at the Commune.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're always welcome.
So what time does that kick off, did you say?
We're going 8 to 9.
Okay. Amazing.
And
So
I think beforehand, while we're setting up and doing sound check, I'm sure Autumn McKay will be there playing some songs too, and it'd be good people to hang out with, musicians and stuff.
yes, and Megan was on as well, but
Yep.
I've got to know her a little bit better over the last few months too. So I do know that you got a nice little musical community in that area, and fan of the commune. And hello to the folks that run the place. We've had Derek
Yeah.
on here before too, and they originally were set up here in Glasgow as well when they came from Toronto, I think originally. So
Yeah.
definitely a good history there with a lot of musical ties between both counties.
Yeah.
So
It's a really
definitely,
cool venue too, and it seems to be growing quite a bit. Like it's
yeah.
when I first moved to Truro back September last year, I was up there for school. I'll be going back in a couple of weeks. That was kind of the first place to, it was a new town.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't have my feet beneath me yet, so that was kind of the first place I went. I met Megan somewhere, I think at the engine room, and then she told me to come out to open mic, and then it sort of just spiraled from there. Next thing you know, I'm gigging in Truro, same as I am back home. So
Yeah, I'm thinking as the festival season wraps up and I have a little bit more free time on my hands, I'm probably going to be hitting Truro a little more often again. That seemed to be the way during the colder months last year. I was venturing out of Pictou County a little bit and hitting Truro more than Halifax, it seemed. There seemed to
yeah,
be a lot of events.
it's growing a lot. I mean, we just had the new venue there, the public house open up, and I've heard talk some other stuff too. So I think next couple years it's going to be really really good for Truro, musically speaking. Anyway, I think it's a good town to be a musician.
People following along on my Instagram accounts probably too, seen that I was advertising for an artist that is traveling through our region here, and she's actually playing at Belly Up this evening with her sister. So shout out to Carrie Lynn and Olivia. I hope you had a great show. So yeah, definitely a lot of venues in the area. I'm really excited to see a prosperous music scene. I always knew that Pictou County had one, and I immediately went to Halifax when I started podcasting. But as I circle around and find all these different music scenes, I was really happy to see that Antigonish has a fairly good scene, which could be expected because it's a college town.
Yep.
But I was really excited to see that Truro doesn't just have a lot of places to play, but there's a wide variety of artists to choose from as well. So you're never really bored, and there's always an option. So a little something for everyone.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So the album itself, let's dive a little bit more into the process of creating it. So basically, you've been like more focused on it over the past 12 months. So did you take a different approach to this than you did with previous recordings?
I think so. Yeah, because I wanted with the first recording, it was really songs I wrote. A lot of them I wrote in high school or shortly after. Then it was like, oh, I got all this stuff kicking around. I should record it and put it out and see what happens. There wasn't really any. I didn't have a lot of shows booked up around release. I wasn't promoting it all that much. It was kind of just like, oh, I'll stick it out there more for fun, for anything. And then different venues I was trying to get into, I'd send them a link to it or whatever to check out. But this one, I've really decided, I'm putting this music out. I put a lot of time into writing the songs and performing them live and getting them really to a point where I'm proud of them. So I'm putting a lot more effort into it. I mean, I'm doing shows like this, and I got live stuff kicking around release week. That 2 weeks, I took off work and I'm strictly doing music stuff for that right around release. So I think it's gonna be a little bit better than last time.
Yeah,
And
the
musically, I mean, I'm
promotional.
a lot more. I think that's the case with every artist that kind of grows. You're always more proud of what you're currently doing than stuff you've done before. But I think the songwriting has really gone up a level since the last record.
Yeah, I think after a little bit of time, you find that you just don't look back at your own stuff as often. So
Absolutely.
there's definitely a reason for that. It's sometimes it's worth it to go back and see the progress for yourself, but definitely not something that I know a lot of artists now, and a lot of them, if I bring up old stuff, they're like, "Oh, I forgot I did that." It's pretty fun. So, what are your plans now? You have this full album. Did you have a plan as far as releasing singles from it, or?
No, not really. I'm kind of just it's a 5 song EP, and
Mhm.
some of the songs are like 4 or 5 minutes, but then some of them are slightly over 2 minutes, right? So I didn't really. It's not a huge time commitment to sit through anyway. So I figured, well, I might as well just release all five altogether. And it's one of those things where I've always enjoyed listening to records all the way through. That's how I'm not a playlist guy at all. I'll put on
Hmm.
a record at the gym or in a car ride or whatever and just listen to it the whole way through. Sometimes two or three times on repeat. So that's really, to me, I didn't want to have a single come out and then wait a couple weeks and then drop the whole album and then have people kind of forgotten about it by then.
Hmm.
I want it to come out and people, because you're only going to get a couple weeks where people are interested in it and then it'll die off, and it's the way things work. So I think having as much stuff out there at that point is that's the way I chose to take it anyway.
Yeah, I know that if you start looking around, especially when you're diving into any artistic field and you start looking around as far as like how to market that type of thing, there's a lot of recommendations as far as how to work the algorithm and what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. And even with this show where I've interviewed so many people over the last few years, a pattern started to come out as far as release schedules, and it get right down to the point where I even knew when people were going to go to the studio before they did, just because they were all following the same seasonal pattern of releases. It was working and it's fine, but yourself being a music fan, you know that sometimes if you step back from the marketing aspect for that stuff, you're like, I don't know as a fan if that's what I want, is for everything to be the same all the time. There's
I mean,
something
to me, it
about the
makes more
regular.
sense to just release music when it's ready, right? I'm not too
Yeah.
worried about like, oh, songs perform better in October than September or whatever. I'm not too caught up in that. I had the songs ready. You know, worked around my work schedule and my life and everything, and got in the studio and did what I needed to do, and it's done. So I don't want to sit on it for too long, right? I feel like just get it out and then move on to the next whatever the next project is.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach for most people that are starting out or still establish themselves. Maybe once you're getting offered like 50 grand a show or something, then you start navigating that strategy a little bit
Sure, yeah.
more with some professionals. But I do think that it's been a common theme where I ask anyone that's established at any degree, but I've did have quite a few artists on in the past year that are like 20 to 40 years into their music careers. And the one thing that I found consistently, as far as asking for advice for other artists, it's to just go do the thing that you're thinking about doing and do it now. So
Definitely.
it's the same approach that you're taking to your releases. So I'm excited to see how that goes, but I also know that it doesn't really matter because your intent is to get your name out there and do the live performances to push the recordings, but also have the recordings to push the live performances because really we all know the live performances is where you're going to make the money in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, live performances are more fun too. Anyway, I mean, being in the studio is kind of fun and getting your ideas on tape and setting stuff up. But once it's done, I mean, sitting here waiting for it to come out, that's not the fun part, right? I mean, the fun
Yeah.
part is getting out and playing the shows and meeting people and doing all the fun stuff. And that to me is where I that's where I get the enjoyment from, right? I mean, if it wasn't, I don't want to be one of these guys who make records in their bedroom or whatever and then never go play live. I
Hmm.
want to get out and play in front of people, right? So really putting the record out is, oh, I heard that guy's record. He's playing live in my town. I'll go catch him, right? I think that's the way I like doing it. I like playing live.
Yeah, no, I love it, and I picked up on that pretty early on and getting to know you there too. So
Yeah,
I definitely love that work ethic applied to this field of arts too. It definitely is important. I mean, it's not for everybody. I know everybody that has their own nuances and where their comfort zone is and where their interests lie. But we definitely need some people that are the road warriors out there that are ready to play and entertain the crowds.
definitely. Yeah.
So you're going to have to keep us up to date with upcoming dates so that we can help push them out there. I do want to mention some recent history that I've mentioned a few times already that we've run into each other a few times. So since you've been on the podcast, you've been performing live very consistently and technically like all over the province. So I was very happy to see that you ended up landing in Pictou County. But I really wanted to point out that what you and you mentioned Autumn already as well. You and Autumn both like pulled in some pretty hardcore hours for Pictou County too. You did the Shoebox Songwriter Circle on the Thursday night, which I don't get out to as often as I would like to, but anyone that's in the Glasgow area, that's every Thursday night, and they're always great artists that are playing. Like I try to keep up to date with what's happening in my backyard, but I don't always know who the artists are, so I like to get down and meet some new people, and I'm always I'm always delighted with the talent that they put on the stage. So
Yeah,
you
that
guys,
was a great show. I really liked that venue. I'd never played there before, but it
yeah.
was definitely it was cool and it was different for me. I'm not used to playing with other musicians on stage where it's kind of sit around and listen.
Hmm.
It was cool. I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, it definitely, I could see how it would be a new format for you, but it's
Yeah,
definitely suited to your performance style too. So
definitely.
I'd like to see you in that type of arrangement again. Maybe it'll happen up in the Truro area, or maybe we'll find another opportunity for you down here. But you did also, the pair of you went back to back covering the opening slot for the late stages with the Jubilee. So you pulled in 3 days in a row of doing that and still pulled in a matinee performance at the Express Yourself Cafe in Trenton, which
Yeah,
another thing, if anyone's in the Pecto County area, downtown Trenton on Main Street, there's a big orange train caboose, which looks very touristy. Like you want to go over and look at it, of course. Good photo opportunity, maybe. But there's a cafe inside, and very delightful people own that place. They're very supportive of the local community and the arts, and they have performances at their seating area outside. So the two of you were able to play there too. So you did like what's that, 5 gigs in like a 4 day period in my
yeah. I think
backyard.
well, Autumn actually played at Belly Up and or not Belly Up, Nook and Cranny in
Oh,
Tatamagouche too. So I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
between two of us that weekend, we did like 11 sets or something.
That's amazing.
It was a lot. Yeah.
So I imagine you'd slowed down a little bit from the pace of that specific weekend,
Yeah.
but outside of the upcoming release party, do you have any dates now that you can share?
Yeah. I got, I guess I'm trying to think of ones. What day did you say this comes out?
This will be out just before the release, so the 19th.
Okay. So the 19th, I play in Aylesford Park as part of their summer concert series. The 22nd is the release show, and then the 26th, I'm in Liverpool at a spot called the Cellar Tap Room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was going down for a like a little radio show, and I figured while I was in town, I'd try to pick up a gig 'cause it's a bit of a drive down there anyway. So they were, I got a list of places to contact, and they were the first one to get back, and it was, I'm looking forward to it. I've been in there before. It's a pretty cool venue, so I
I
think it'd be
have
cool.
not been, but I've heard good things. So
Yeah, it's cool. They got like it is a cellar, like it's an underground bar sort of deal, but the I ate there before. The food was pretty good, and they've got a bowling alley
oh,
attached to the
cool.
bar, which was kind of different. So I mean, it's a Tuesday night, so I don't know. I don't know what we'll get for a crowd. We could be awesome or it could be dead. I really don't know, but I'm looking forward to checking it out.
But I guess, as you said too, and it's obvious from your statements, it's about the experience of performing live and getting out there and trying new venues and seeing if you can find new crowds and get your
Definitely,
name out there for more opportunities in the future.
absolutely, yeah.
So now I also want to make sure that people can find you online aside from being able to find you live. So we did mention that the album itself's on all streaming platforms, so people can pick their own poison there. But on social media platforms and online in general, where should people look for you?
Definitely Instagram is where I'm most active. I'm pretty good on that. Facebook, I'm on a fair bit, maybe not quite as much as Instagram, but I've got my accounts linked, so anything that goes on Instagram goes on Facebook as well. That's really all I use. I'm not super media savy,
Fair enough.
but I mean, my dates are on there, my releases are on there, anything important.
Perfect. So it's what people need to hear from you, and
Yeah,
then I'll help you look after the YouTube content. How's that?
yeah, okay.
So, do you have any other plans that, like coming up? We get cold weather coming up, as I mentioned, so it does reduce my travel to some degree, mostly because I'm not a big fan of traveling in the snow and ice. But what about yourself? What's the forecast look like for the future with Hunter?
Well, like I say, I'm back home for summer right now, but I moved back to Truro in my dorm in 2 weeks or something, like right at the end of August, early September. So like I say, I'll be back in Truro, so be a lot of shows up that way. Hoping to expand. I got working with some stuff in New Glasgow since playing there last weekend or whenever that was. Uh, I got another date with the Shoebox. I think September 8th, I want to say. Uh,
Amazing.
don't don't quote me on that, but I think and a couple other spots I'm looking at too. So I think definitely more that side of the province and less valley stuff.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'll be back and forth home quite a bit too, so I'm sure there'll be stuff in the valley as well.
And I need to know a little bit more about that area. I did get down maybe two or three times since I've been podcasting, but
Yep.
despite the fact that I've gotten to all the other provinces, I don't explore that deep into Nova Scotia that often. So when you're established in Truro again, I'll have to stop by on one of my trips and pick your brain a little bit and see what
Yeah,
areas I should
anytime,
look.
man.
So I know that myself, I'm getting close to the end of my summer festival season. I do want to do a quick plug because I'm also a media sponsor for Giant Stock Music Festival. And anyone that's watching this within the first 2 weeks of release, it didn't happen yet. So there's still time for you to go out and get tickets. It's Labor Day weekend, 3 days, on-site camping, unless something happens with our regulations here. But I believe that that's still a go. There's been some other precautions taken so that nothing else is being restricted on us. There's wrestling on the first day. I'm really excited to see Andre Petitpas wrestling Ashley McIsaac, and very curious how that's going to impact Ashley's performance after the wrestling match. So definitely looking forward to that. I don't know, Hunter, if you're going to be able to make it down that weekend.
I'll be kicking around as much as I can. I've got some other stuff kind of all over the province that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about or not. I won't just
Sure.
because I don't know what I can say or what
Yeah.
I can't say. But I'm basically from one end of the province to the other that weekend. But I'll definitely be there a little bit.
Amazing. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for you there. And I want to thank you for reaching out and sharing the new album. I want to make sure that everybody out there goes out and streams a copy. Even if you don't want to listen to the whole album, just hit play and go do something. It'll sink in, and then
Yeah,
you'll know the songs and you'll want to go back and listen to it again. And then he gets two streams for one.
there you go,
That's
man.
that's the way we gotta do the math up that way to get you a lot of
I
streams.
think what I'm gonna do is just have it on constantly as I'm sleeping in the background, just so
Yeah.
it's drives the numbers up and
It'll drive the numbers up and it will help you
yeah.
with your performances where you subliminally
There you
have
go. Yeah, I'll
everything
never
just
forget the
worked
words
right
again.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Now, I did make a kind of tongue in cheek about the YouTube because most people are watching this on YouTube. It's also on TikTok. So, anyone that's on TikTok watching this, there's even more content over on the YouTube channel. I just started putting the interviews on TikTok. So if you go over to YouTube, there's live performances and some other bonus content and way more interviews if you want to dig back over the last couple of years. For yourself, Hunter, do you have any intention of doing like a music video or any companion piece to go with the music or?
I've always, I mean, I did one a couple years ago. It was right as I was getting out of high school. My film teacher actually helped me out because he was a big music guy too. He plays in some bands and runs sound and whatnot. But he helped me shoot kind of a live in studio video, so you can find that on YouTube. It's 2, 3 years old now. I mean, my hair is down to here, and
Yeah.
it's pretty grungy and pretty heavy, but it was a good take of the song. I was pretty happy with it. So I might do some more stuff like that in the future. I've never been a fan of really produced music videos, like
Hmm.
with actors and all kinds of different camera angles and shots and really like makeup and all the fancy stuff. I prefer the like live in studio. Like even, I mean, I watch a ton of live concerts, but even just like performances on something like the Stern Show or sitting around
Hmm.
different radio shows or whatever. I like that kind of stuff. So I think if I was gonna do any videos, it would be more live content.
There you go. I'll have to see if I can get out to some of your shows and grab a couple clips for you there too. Maybe
That'd be great. Yeah,
contribute to that goal anyway.
yeah, it's all be
So
archived.
I will recommend that people go out there, stream the album, follow you online, keep an eye out for tour dates. And even if it's in a region that we didn't mention, I suspect that Hunter's going to be doing a lot more travel than he's even letting on at this point. Maybe doesn't even know how much travel he's going to be doing in the next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
Well, it's weird. Once in a while, something will pop up. It's way out of the way. It's like, oh, I don't think I can make it that far. I'm like, well, I'm not 12 anymore. I've got a car and I've got a
yeah.
job. I can pay for gas, and I think I can make it. So I find myself in all kinds of weird spots nowadays.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can relate. There's definitely a big age gap there, but I've been exploring a little bit more the last couple of years, and there's a whole bunch of opportunity out there. So if there's anyone else in your position that's just kind of you've been at it for a little bit, but really trying to get out there and establish themselves, like there is a lot of opportunity, and if you look around, there's probably a lot of people out there willing to help you along the way too. So it's a vibrant community, and I love the way that our music scene has grown over the past years. When I started doing the podcast, it was during the COVID years when things were just starting to reopen. And a lot of the coverage then was, hey, this concert was canceled. No, they're going to have this concert. So, like, the fact that now I can't even keep up with all the new artists coming out, let alone the ones that have been around all along, it's just, it's overwhelming at times, but it's a great problem to have. So I hope to see you when I'm out in my travels, but it sounds like we already have plans to be in generally the same areas over the next couple months anyway. So it's pretty much a guarantee. It's just a matter
Yeah,
of
we'll
when.
cross paths again soon.
Yes. And I'll invite you and your crew to come down to Glasgow anytime here too. I'd love to get out to one of the local shows and maybe do some introductions. Great networking opportunities when we keep the two music communities kind of working together. And
Yeah,
I do see a lot of collaboration starting to happen. So it's a perfect time for that type of behavior. And I believe this year, when we slow down into the fall months, that East Coast DNA is going to attempt hosting some more shows. As you know yourself, we hosted some shows in Trenton this summer at the amphitheater, where they were that songwriter style that you say that you like now too. So
yeah.
I'm going to try something like that again. Don't have any details to share yet, but I'll keep you in mind, Hunter. And if you have anything else to share, please send along to East Coast DNA. We can post your tour dates as they come up, let people know. And I've gotten to know this guy over the last couple of months, so I definitely recommend you go out and support him at a live show. It's always a great time. I've heard some of those songs several times now, and they're
Yeah.
not getting old for me at all. So I definitely say I can say full gold stamp of approval. Check Hunter out if you get a chance to see him live, and I'm excited to see how you do with the streaming on this new one too.
I think it'll be cool. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to. I mean, I'm not expecting it to go viral or anything, but I think it'll be better than the last one. I'm putting a lot more into it, and like I say, I mean, I think quality wise, the final product is a lot more. I just think the song. I'm a lot more proud of the songwriting. I mean, not to say I'm not proud of the old stuff. It's I still play all those songs live, but
Mhm.
I think the last year I mean, I got a lot of life experience, but I've also just a lot of new musical influences. I've been listening to a lot of different stuff that I didn't listen to before, and been to a lot more shows. Just I've really grown as a musician, I think. So, and I think a lot of that comes through on the new tunes.
Is there anything, speaking of new tunes, anything from the new release that you would like to play off with, give people a little taste of what they can expect from the rest of it?
Yeah, I mean, probably the title track's probably the best bet, the Raven the Roadkill.
Perfect. Well, we're going to head off with that now. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, it's likely available now because this is released the evening before the full release. And if not, you only have a few hours left. So you can go out there and stream it in the morning.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for your time. And we'll talk again very soon.
yeah, sounds good, brothers. Thanks a lot.
Bye, everyone.
Tired with the crows, I know where they fly. I'm one with with the vultures who thieve in the night. Wicked gray skies of which I adore. For I am the raven, I'll sing nevermore. Cracks in the asphalt, now rivers of red. Former safe crossings have gone to my head. Scattered and taken